Yapping videos are all the rage right now. And if you are a coach who's extremely talented at what you do and you want your results to reflect the caliber of your work, so your ideal client comes to you without you having to chase them down with 10,000 yaps. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that by focusing on building trust the moment that people meet you with one single video instead of a million. And in case we haven't met yet, I'm Mariana Henninger. I'm an Emmy award-winning storyteller. I've worked with massive brands. I have been published on the biggest news organizations in the world, and I specifically focus on how to tell your story in a way that completely captures the heart and soul of your dreamiest client and move the needle in your business in order to accelerate sales. I work with a very select group of clients, and we open up doors once a month for 5 applications. If you want to learn more, just reach out to me on Instagram at Brand Magnetic. DM me the word pre-sold, and my automation will get you all the details, including pricing and what's involved. So I think the first thing that's important to understand is getting clients that are pre-sold on you, that are specifically drawn to you for who you are in your offer, is a product of 2 different things that your marketing needs to do. If you want to avoid sales calls and you want the perfect client reaching out to you and calling themselves to action, then you need to do 2 things. The first thing is that a premium client needs to trust you as their guide. So first, we need to build trust in us. And then secondly, we need to shift their beliefs about what they see, meaning how they see their problem, how they see their situation, how they see the path to real results, how they see the mechanism. They've been trying one thing, but it's not working. We need to shift their beliefs so they try this new way. The problem is that the internet has basically sapped what makes you extraordinary so that you can feed an algorithm. So if you're chasing things that go viral, you're trying to shout above the noise to get attention, you're really hoping that your messaging sticks through virality versus through connection. This is what most gurus preach. You need to provide months and months and months of value in order for people to trust you. But there's a much faster way to do this, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video. The good news is that the first step of this process, which is building trust in yourself, can be accomplished with one video. And I'm going to show you everything in this one. So this is specifically for coaches who get their clients incredible results, but you know that your marketing doesn't reflect the depth of what you actually do. This video is going to show you a completely different way, a much faster way to build trust online. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what a human connection video is, the same one that replaces tens of thousands of yaps, and the same one that my clients and I have used to attract the very specific ideal client that we want to work with. I have clients who get VIP premium clients coming to them and signing up for their highest level program within a week of meeting them. And my own human connection video increased my revenue by 600%. This is something that doesn't exist anywhere else. I developed it through my Emmy award-winning documentary storytelling skills. I travel the world meeting different people and really needing to connect with them very, very quickly in order to get them to trust me. And in the process, I also had to understand which parts of their story were really going to connect with somebody else and move the needle for them. And so I've packaged that into what I call a human connection video, and it's what I'm going to show you today. Have you ever had this experience where you get on a call with a potential client and within 4, 5, 6 minutes, they're like, they feel who you are. They get your magic because you're in the room with them. And they end up saying something like, I already know I want to work with you. I just need to know the logistics. Now compare that to what happens online. When your ideal client finds you because they're floating around, they maybe see a comment that you made that caught their attention, or your name somehow surfaces for them. Then they find their Instagram and they scroll through a few posts and they read your bio and then they leave. It has nothing to do with how good your work is and has everything to do with the fact that you didn't connect with them and build trust right then and there. This is what I call the sniff. This is when your ideal client is searching online and kind of scouring through your stuff, trying to answer the question, are they worth paying attention to? Are you worth paying attention to? And that is the gap, because the outside of your business doesn't match what's on the inside. and the results that you create. So the transformations that you deliver, people can't really feel them when they meet you, right? And they can't actually experience who you are. None of that is coming through. So what do? You do what everyone tells you to do, which is you create more content, you do more posts, more reels, more emails, more podcasts, more. You basically become a content creator even more or before than you ever are a coach. You're basically hoping that eventually the right person sees that piece at the right time and feels something. And some people do build trust that way, right? Over millions of pieces of content over many, many years, every single day showing up when they're like tethered to their phone and tethered to social media. But this is what I want you to think about. Why is it that we believe in a system that's told us to build trust over many, many touch points and over months and months and months when we know that that can happen in a single conversation with the right person? How is it that me and my clients can literally have way fewer touch points where we've reduced our sales cycle by like 80% without having to post a million pieces of content, without having to chase the algorithm, without having to chase going viral? And that's because trust can be engineered. Trust can be accelerated. And the way to do that is by making people feel a complete connection to you and activating what I call the 4 trust triggers. So I spent my entire career as a documentary filmmaker, Emmy award winning. I've had work published in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, NBC, Time Magazine, and I have spent my entire life really learning how to make people feel something in minutes, because that's what documentaries do. You sit down and within 2 or 3 minutes, you're completely hooked, and you might be crying about a person that you've never met before. You feel their story, you feel their journey, and that's what makes a good documentary. And a few years ago, I started working with coaches, incredible women who have amazing expertise, and they get real results for their clients. And their clients would rave about them, but online it was like they were invisible. So maybe they weren't completely invisible, but nothing was really connecting and moving the needle. It took months and months for people to really be ready to take the next step with them. And the reality is that the way that we do social media strips away the very thing that makes you extraordinary. It's just a byproduct of having to make everything catchy and viral and snappy and moving around. It stripped away their warmth and their depth and their energy and their magic and what really made them human and connect as humans. So I started asking myself, what if I could take what I know about storytelling, about making someone feel a real human connection in 90 seconds and use it to help coaches build trust online? So not with more content or more posts or content calendars, just one strategic video designed to make your perfect client who meets you online for the first time truly feel like they know you and they feel what you're about. And you've activated what I call the 4 trust triggers. The 4 trust triggers are really, really critical to getting your ideal person to stop and pay attention and connect with you and ultimately trust you. The first one is they need to feel like you get them. That means you have a deep understanding of what drives them, what motivates them, what they're about, what's keeping them up at night. What is their deepest soul desire? What is the reason behind the reason for what they do? You need to understand them better than they understand themselves. So this is incredibly, incredibly deep, and we have an incredibly short amount of time to get them to feel that. Number 2, they need to feel that you care about them deeply, wholeheartedly, that this isn't just a transaction for you, that you're not just in it for the sale, that they're not just a number, that you're going to ultimately really take care of them, in part because of your passion to do this thing, that you really, really care about getting them the results that you're promising them. Number 3, they should sigh a sigh of relief when they meet you. They should feel like, oh my gosh, I have found my person. This is it. I don't have to look anymore. This is my home. I have felt homeless for a long time. I need your help, and I want to work with you to get to that promised land of results. And number 4, they should feel like your values align, like your personality is exactly what they need, that you're going to provide for them that companionship, but most importantly, you're the guide, that what you care about is stuff they care about. They want to know that investing in you means investing in something that feels really soul aligned for them. And they actually like you. They want to hang out with you. They want proximity to you. And that is trust trigger number 4. So if you can in one video activate 4 of these trust triggers, you've got them hooked on that first part of the conversion system, where first they need to trust you and then they need to have their belief shifted. So we're not going to get into that. We're just going to focus on creating instant connection and trust. Because if you do that top of funnel, that is when people pay a lot more attention to you. That's when every time you do show up, they're a lot more engaged. They're like, oh my gosh, it's Rachel, it's Sam, it's Amanda. I love them. And I want to, like, I'm sold on them and I'm paying a lot more attention. I'm engaged. I'm hooked. So that is the human connection video that can activate the trust triggers, that can make people feel like they know you from the get-go because it expresses your values, what you're about. It's the most amazing expression of your magic in 2 to 3 minutes. So first off, where does it live? It lives top of funnel. So pinned on your social media profile, it's on your About Me page, which is the second most visited page on most websites. It's on your homepage if you're the face of your brand. It's on your email signature, so everyone who gets an email from you should watch that video. This isn't a highlight reel. It's not a marketing video with a call to action at the end. It's not an about you video where you talk about your dog or your favorite coffee. No. We're talking really deeply, showing them that you get them, you care about them, you've got them, you're the expert, and your values align. It's an incredibly strategic trust building asset. So usually it's 2 to 3 minutes, and it's designed to really connect with your dreamiest client and helping them feel your magic, your caliber, the depth of your work from the very first interaction. And it works because of something called trust acceleration. This is the part that changes everything for most coaches who hear it. So think about it. When someone comes to your workshop and consumes a bunch of your content, they trust you faster. When someone gets a warm introduction, they trust you faster. When someone hops on a Zoom call with you, they trust you faster. Why? Because in those moments, they're not reading your content. They're really feeling who you are. They're hearing your story. They're seeing how you express yourself. They're hearing what you're about, your humanity and the way that you see the world. Your perspective, your POV is everything. And a human connection video does that at scale without you needing to meet every single person on Zoom. And this is happening all before the call, before the DM, before they even hear your offer. This is the first moment of connection. And this matters more than ever right now because AI is literally writing everything. People have their clones out there. There's a ton of bot produced content. AI can build your funnels, it can generate your content, but it cannot replicate your story. It cannot replicate the way that you make people feel understood, and it can't replicate your true humanity, like who you are. Your stories are not just decoration, they're not just gimmicks that you use for marketing. They are proof of who you are. They make people feel what you're about and what you truly stand for. So when your ideal client watches your human connection video, she stops seeing you as just another coach in her feed, and instead she feels like she understands what you're about. She's connected to you. And that's the shift. Like, you don't want people to land on your page to say, oh, I like her content, or she seems nice. It's, she gets me. She's my person. That's the reaction that you want to elicit. So in order to get that reaction, you don't just throw spaghetti at the wall. It has to be engineered in a very specific way. So let me show you what this looks like in the real world. So one of my clients is an osteopath and a pelvic floor coach, and it's a very sensitive niche. Women need to feel really safe before they work with anyone in that space. And before she had her human connection video, she was just another website and another headshot. And yes, she was incredible at what she did, but people who met her online couldn't tell the difference between her and any other pelvic floor coach. But after we created her human connection video, now she has dream clients signing up for her VIP program within a week of discovering her online. So no long nurture necessary. They feel like they immediately are seen by her. They feel her magic. It's as if they had met her and had coffee with her in the most intimate, awesome way. And the thing that she says here is that I finally feel like the outside of my business matches what's on the inside. Here's another one. A peak performance coach who used to do this exhausting, like 5 email exchange back and forth before anyone even booked a discovery call. So after we installed her human connection video and it went live, by the time someone booked a call, they had already decided. It basically became a call where they were just finalizing the details of the offer. She was getting the payment because she didn't need to sell on the call anymore. They were coming to her already sold on her offer, already sold on wanting to work with her. They just needed the details of her program. And I've had clients who have had people watch their video and cry and write to them and be like, oh my gosh, this story is so amazing. It really connects with me. How can I work with you? Or they say like, oh my gosh, that's actually me. This really, really resonates with me. I didn't even look at the price first, was another thing that people say. And that's what happens when trust is created before they hear your offer. This is what persuasion is all about, that Robert Cialdini talks about in his book, Persuasion. You're arriving at the conclusion yourself. Your ideal client is getting there all by herself. And you're just providing the right things for her to feel that way and call herself to action and come to you already pre-sold. So I hope you've understood like what it is and why it works, but how to create one is the real question, right? How do you actually know which story to tell, how to structure your story, how to understand which parts of your story are actually going to make sense and move the needle? And a lot of my clients, they have really awesome stories, but they're kind of all over the place when we start working together. I call it a box of potpourri, where there's just a million different elements. And it really is important to find which ones are going to work, which ones are going to really move the needle and connect with your ideal person. So I'm putting together the complete training that I use with my clients. So clients who come to me to do it for them, they pay tens of thousands of dollars. I am putting that entire system into a single training that is exactly step by step. It's the framework that I use with my private clients. So how to identify the stories that build trust the fastest, how to structure them so that you have an emotional connection that's created in minutes, and then how to turn one video into the most powerful trust building asset in your business that works for you for years to come. So it's not a reel that disappears after 24 hours. It is an asset that lives and works and breathes and is doing its thing 24/7 with every single person that comes into your universe. If you want to find out more, I'm putting the link in the description below. Go take a look. Go on my Instagram @BrainMagnetic and comment the word human, and I'll send you a link. I'll see you on the inside.